Well, joining me now is the Palestinian journalist Taghreed Khodary, based right now in Amsterdam. Taghreed Khodary, you are in Amsterdam, but you still have many family members inside Gaza.
Yes, Katya, many family members, many friends, and no internet now, so I have no access to them, but I managed today to call them directly from my mobile, and all they are saying, they are extremely terrified, and they are talking how this attack on them by Israel is extremely different from the previous attacks. This time they feel every person is a target for Israel. And this time, Israel is not warning many homes to evacuate their homes before attacking. Yet last night, there was an entire family killed in an area, Rafah, south of the Gaza Strip, where Israel is asking Gazans from Gaza City to go there. So no place is safe. A family member, he was in Khan Yunis, south of the Gaza Strip. There was bombing there, so he said, it's better I go back to where I was, my home, where I feel dignified, given that it's extremely scary everywhere in the entire Gaza Strip. What happened to him? Omar al-Khodary killed with his family. Only his wife survived and only 2 of his kids, but the rest of the family is dead. Katya.
I'm very sorry for your losses. I mean, the suffering of families here is immense. Of course, here in Israel, there are daily reports about survivors of families who were massacred on the 7th of October, family members of the hostages inside Gaza. When it comes to Palestinian civilians, Israel insists its focus is on Hamas and Hamas infrastructure, and it says Katya, it is trying to avoid the civilians.
Katya, that is not what we see as observers, what we hear from personal account. One thing, and as a duty by all the international mainstream media, they have to tell their audience that you have no presence, no international journalists are allowed by Israel to go to the Gaza Strip. Gaza City, none of even the Palestinian journalists is covering from Gaza City. Gaza City, where many people, including my friends, family members, didn't leave also. You are talking about people who are in their 80s, also 90s, where to live at this situation. The Palestinian journalists, they moved because they want to protect their families. Their kids are asking them, we want to live, we don't want to die. All of them were afraid, so they moved to the south of the Gaza Strip. What are they doing now? They are relying on images done by the cameramen and the photographers. And so all the international mainstream media. We are missing the human stories from Gaza. Gaza has been reported. We are looking at it as news items now. We are not covering it as a human story. These children, more than 1,000 children, we don't have their life story. We don't have their dreams. We don't have their names. And that is missing. And that is really terrifying. October 7th, the human story from the Israeli narrative, it was covered and it was done, and you feel it. But the Palestinian narrative is not there. We are covering again Gaza as a news item, and this is really terrifying. I mean, like you are talking about a genocide.
Own correspondent.
Yeah, but we are talking about genocide. So this is genocide,
which is something
and how it's covered. Yeah, it's terrifying. You are talking. I mean, I am afraid that my family will be wiped out, and so are these Palestinians. I mean, even the journalist, even the person who works for you on the ground. It's so terrifying. You are talking about wiping out families with the green light of the international community. At the beginning, everybody was blaming Hamas for going too far. But then The fact that the international community gave the support to Israel without any consideration to the international law, that made people angry, and all the anger is moved now to the international community.
We did definitely see in that very hastily organized Cairo summit at the weekend, where there were leaders from Arab nations and there was representatives from the European Union as well, for example, very low representation from the United States. And there were accusations being made, the anger that you're talking about being directed at EU countries, for example, and accusing them of hypocrisy how they view the war, Russia's invasion in Ukraine. Obviously, there is terrible civilian suffering on the ground. We have Rushdie Abu Alouf, our reporter there. Yes. We have other reporters from the Arabic service who are they are people who live in Gaza. They are Gazans. And you're right, international journalists are not being allowed on the ground there. Through social media and camera people there are images of what's going on inside Gaza, around the world, and in southern Gaza, where, again, Israel said today, Gaza civilians should move south. As you say, some can't, and hospitals say they can't just evacuate. But there have been airstrikes also over the south there today, and the aid situation is something that international leaders are bringing up very strongly with Israel. Do you think these diplomatic visits and pressure can make a difference?
I hope so, but I don't see that they are exerting really effort. I mean, now I think Biden, what he said yesterday, let's release all these hostages, the civilians, and then we talk about ceasefire. But that's it. I think Bibi Netanyahu is aiming to go forward, given that he himself is afraid to stop this, because then he will be indicted for sure. So this is a scary moment, because at the beginning they gave Israel the green light at the beginning, and all of a sudden now, how can we stop? Because it's madness. It's really going too far. I mean, the number of children being killed. You know, you're right. There are reporters, Palestinian reporters covering, but as I said, in the south, I'm talking about Gaza City. None is in Gaza City, but the Al Jazeera correspondent Wael Dahdouh, and that is terrifying. Israel, I think, I mean, like, you have to push so hard to be there. It's genocide. You have to cover it, because it's extremely different. I covered the attack of 2008, 2009.
I'm really, really sorry, but we have to break you there for time. Thank you very much, Taghreed Khodary, for joining us from Amsterdam. Taghreed Khodary, Palestinian journalist, concerned very much about her family and Palestinian civilians stuck in the Gaza Strip at this time. For now, that's all from us in Jerusalem, and it's over to you, Catherine, in London.